Welcome, lover girl. I hope your week is going well so far. It's Tuesday. I'm really happy to get on live with you today. Because I want to really go into depth about the conversation that we started online. Well, I started it, of why men don't approach you. Why, the real reason why they don't approach you. Welcome, where you guys are watching from, and please be sure to share. Share this live with your people. Is there anybody here, if you read my post on why men are, the truth about why men are not approaching you, put a 1 in the comments. If you have not read it, put a 2 in the comments. What's up, Nambia? What's up, Texas? What's up? If you have read it, my post from this week about why men don't approach, 1. Okay. 1 in the comment section. If you have not, put 2. Lorelei. And then I also want you to be able to share takeaways and questions. If you have questions about any of it, put it in the question box, please. Because the chat be chatting, and I cannot guarantee you that I see your question. The way you can guarantee that I see your question is it'll be in the chat box. Okay? On the freeway in LA. So if you have not read my post about yesterday, just to sum it up very, very quickly. So I talked about the real reason on why men don't approach in public, because, you know, women are wondering, like, hey, men are staring, but they're not approaching. Why am I always getting overlooked when I go out in public? I know that I'm dope. I know these things. But why aren't men noticing me when I go out? Why aren't they noticing me? Like, these are the types of things that are coming up. And so I'm just like, because I work with so many women, and I have worked with hundreds of women, I already have a very great understanding about, like, layers and why certain things are happening or not happening. And what I've discovered is that 9 times out of 10, if you are never being approached, if this is not a regular thing where you're being approached by men that you like and you desire, it's because you are unintentionally disconnecting yourself from men. Okay? You are disconnecting yourself from men and you don't realize that you are doing it. Whenever women are regularly getting approached, we tend to think that, oh, it's because she looks this way. But what about the women who are considered gorgeous and they go out and they say that they're not getting approached? You know, it's always more about, like, her looks. Like, why is she being approached and not me? And so we make it about desirability. We make it about aesthetics. And it's not. Either any one of you can attract the types of men that you want on a regular basis without you needing to have a certain look, without fitting the Western standard of beauty. Okay? Women who are always getting approached typically are not looking to get approached. They are not walking outside of their homes and going to these events thinking, okay, I hope I get approached today. I'm beautiful. I got my makeup on. I got my makeup on. Someone says men have changed. They don't approach like they used to. A man told me he would rather go on dating apps versus approaching a woman in public. Yeah. like, that is the truth in a second, right? That is the truth. They do not approach us the way we have this expectation for them to approach us now. But I think it's important for us to understand that it is for our benefit. I'm going to get into that piece. I want to see if I can save this point because I don't want to detract from what I'm saying. Let me see if I can remember that. Let me type it down so I don't forget. Because I want to come back to this point. Yeah, I don't think that they're afraid either. I'm going to get to that point as to why things have changed, because it's very, very important to note that it has changed, but also the reasons, the history behind it and what that means for us women. Like, it's really important that we talk about it. Let me make sure I make note of this. Okay. All right. So getting back to what I was saying before, the truth is women who are getting approached they're not looking to get approached by men. What they're doing is these are women that are really connected to themselves, and they are seeking to create connection with men as humans, not as romantic partners or a romantic companion. They're not going out and about waiting for men to approach them for the purpose of romance. They actually see men as humans, not as romantic objects of their affection, or I am only available to talk to men as a human being. It's like we'll see men that we're not interested in, and we'll talk to them. Like we might say things to them, but if there's somebody that we think is attractive and we see that this man could possibly be our man, now we have to be like, oh, he should approach me. I shouldn't say anything. I need to look over here and await his approach. Because if he's interested in me, to date me, he would approach me. Versus looking at this man, this fine specimen, this person who is attractive to you, who you assume to have some level of quality, instead of looking at him as a human being who also wants to be seen, heard, understood, who also doesn't want to be objectified. Men objectify us for sex, and we turn right around and objectify them for relationships, for romance. And so because these women are not looking to be approached, they are focused on creating experiences that invite men to pursue. Hey, I'm Gabriel. That's what their focus is. So they're going out into the world looking to create. Smiling and waving at men while walking downtown. Not making it about, can this be my man or not? I'm not going to smile and wave. They're going to think I'm thirsty. It's like, these are humans. Human beings. I'm going to say it again. These are human beings and they have penises. And so smiling and waving is the connection that we create because we're looking to connect with humans, or just striking up a conversation. He's in a coffee shop. And I do this all the time. He's in a coffee shop and we see him writing something. We see him reading something. Like, hey, what are you reading? You make it look very interesting. Or, hey, what are you working on? Like, you seem really indulged in the work. Like, I remember seeing a guy drawing something and it turned out he was an architect. And like, we literally started talking about his architecture. I had a conversation about his architecture. I posted about how I got asked out on 2 dates within an hour and a half of being at a coffee shop. 2 different men asked me out on dates by just creating a connection, like literally creating a line of connection. One of the guys bought me something to eat while I was at the cafe while I worked, to make sure I wasn't hungry at the cafe. But both of them was like, hey, if you're done, I would love to take you out tonight. Hey, I know I would love to take you out tonight, within like an hour and a half. And it was literally on some, hey, what you working on? Smiling wave. Not like, I hope men approach me today. Giving a simple compliment. Baddie energy. Giving a simple compliment. Like, hey, can I read the words on your shirt? I think that's so cool. I think that's really dope. Like, can I read the words on your shirt here? I think that's really cool. He's walking his dog. Like, I've stopped guys in the park walking their dog, like cute little dogs. I'm like, what kind of dog is he? This dog is really cute. And we're like, I would never approach a man. I'm like, you wouldn't talk to a human being? Is that what you're telling me? You wouldn't do that? Asking his opinion on what to order on the menu or what to buy off the shelf. Like, hey, this is my first time coming to this restaurant here. I see you at the bar. I see what you got on your plate. Looks delicious. What would you recommend? It's not because I'm objectifying you for a possible relationship, even though you look delicious. Because I'm really trying to establish a connection here. I'm interested in who you are as a person, and I'm looking to connect. Or if we find yourself at an event, and I don't know, you're hanging out in between time, and you're like, this has been so much fun for me. I'm really learning a lot. What do you think about what's happening? What do you think about the event? What do you think? We are not trying to make these men our men. We are not asking these men on dates. We're simply establishing a connection. The problem is we have been fed some expectations. It makes sense though, right? We've been fed that men should be taking the lead to approach us and pursue us romantically. So what we imagine is, I'm just standing to myself. I'm just sitting to myself. I'm walking and this man comes out of nowhere And he approaches me and he says, "Excuse me, miss, what's your name? Can you come? Can I take you out tonight?" That's what we're imagining happen. And then we're like, yes, this is the story. And I'm going to tell my kids. That's what happened. I was minding my own business and he just came out of nowhere. He knew nothing of me. I just looked good. If you guys have questions, you need to put them in the question box because I'm not addressing questions right now. Can I take you out tonight? That's what we thinking. It was preached to us growing up in church. If you just focus on the Lord and pay attention to what you're doing and your education, the Lord will send you the husband of your youth. The Lord is going to bless you and you won't even have to do nothing. You won't have to think about it. He will reward you. And then that's what we thought was going to happen. Like, I don't got to do nothing. I just got to exist and follow the Lord. And we've been conditioned by Disney-like channel movies and television. This was the rom-coms show us. This is what Disney shows us. This is what Nickelodeon taught us growing up. This is what happened. And we created these expectations because of this falsehood. And there's two big problems with the expectation. Number one, because this is what has been cultivated, we're not actually looking to genuinely connect with men. We have learned to objectify them for relationships. Because we only want to put ourselves out there if we know we're going to get something out of it. I'm going to put myself out there if I know I'm going to get attention. If I know I'm going to get approached. If I know I'm going to get a date. It's get. I want to get. Gimme. What can I get out of this? I want y'all to think of me as an entrepreneur, as a love coach who has clients, and I make my living doing this work. I make my living doing this work. Imagine if, you guys are my audience and you guys hire me. If y'all don't hire me, I don't make money and I go out of business. But imagine if I came to this platform or I came to you guys all the time and I only created content to get y'all to hire me. I'm only showing up because I want to get clients. I want to get people in my program. That's the only reason why I'm showing up. If that was the case, it would feel very off-putting to my audience. You would feel slimy, like as if you walk to a used car salesperson and you can tell he's simply just saying anything and doing anything to get the sale. Some of y'all DM me and I will tell you my program is not for you. Please don't sign up. Please do not pay. Please do not invest. Right? The only way I'm able to stay in business and attract the most aligned clients is by I'm a connector. I connect with them with you as people first. I don't just respond to my DMs for people who are going to buy from me. Imagine that. I'm not going to reply to her DM. She ain't bought from me. There's people that's been following me for years, since the beginning, has never bought from me, that I talk to all the time in my DMs. They have never purchased one thing from me. They've never ever signed up to work with me. I'm looking to connect with people as people, whether you work with me or not. Maybe you don't need to work with me. Maybe you see my free stuff and you're able to learn from the free stuff and you don't need to hire me. God bless. I think that's beautiful. But the fact that I am looking to connect with you as people first, that is what inspires people to actually want to spend money and work with me and invest. It's how you guys show up when you're looking to get approached by men. You're putting yourself out there to get approached and not to connect with them as humans, as people. And the second reason why the expectation of like putting yourself out there, I want to get approached, is because it's literally severely outdated. Let me talk about this. There was the young lady that talked about men not approaching anymore. It's severely outdated. Please hear me out when I say this. As women of faith, we have an obsession with men taking the lead. It's a literal obsession. I want a man who takes the lead. I want a man who takes the lead. I want a man who takes the lead. We don't realize that what we're really looking for is for men to take responsibility for our desires as women. That is the truth. Here's what I mean. We want men to initiate an approach because that relieves us of being responsible for the desire that we have to connect or link up. We want men to take the lead on all, like the text messages and the phone calls, because we don't have to risk being vulnerable there. All of the vulnerability, the risk is placed on the man of having to do this. We want the man to move us off the app and ask us to move off the app because we don't have to put ourselves out there. Even if we desire to get off the app. It's been 2 days. We would have got off the app in 1 day. We would have got off the app in 1 day, but because we don't want to take responsibility for that desire, we give it to the man. He should have been asking me off the app. He should have brought up the fact that he's ready to go on a date. He should be the one that's texting me first and saying blah, 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 because we don't want the risk. We don't want that responsibility. Because when we become responsible for our desires, it opens us up to be hurt. It opens us up to rejection. It opens us up for heartbreak. It opens us up to judgment. Why should I take responsibility for this and feel these negative emotions if I can just let the man do it? Take all of it, sir. You're not entertaining me in these text messages. Instead of, well, what do I want to co-create in these text messages? Well, if he's leading, I ain't really got to worry about this. If he's the one creating these conversations, I don't have to be responsible for coming up with anything. I can just respond. Historically, as women, we've been treated as props and property. I don't know where people are getting this. We need to go back to where families were families. When women didn't have rights to sign off on their own credit cards? When women didn't have rights to sign off on their own real estate? In the 1900s? when? In 1950s? Men literally have been taking responsibility for our financial choices. They have taken responsibility for our political choices. We couldn't even vote because the men were responsible for it. Someone says, as a real estate business owner, I'll be damned. They have taken responsibility for our political choices. They were voting for us. If the man wanted to vote for a candidate, the whole household voted for that candidate. The woman cannot vote. They took responsibility for our sexual choices. No, you have to stay a virgin. You have to wait until you're married. We're going to sling ding-a-ling across the way. And we're going to have mistresses and concubines, but you need to be a virgin. And I need to be the only man you've ever been with. Or else you're going to seek the consequences from religion and church and society. You're going to be ostracized as the whore that you are, you dirty bitch. Right? They took responsibility for our romantic choices, meaning that our fathers were responsible for having us in their homes, and we would leave our father's home to go to our husband's home. And the father and husband would broker the deal. It wasn't the woman brokering these marriages. It was the father and the husband. So they took responsibility. Y'all seen it in Bridgerton? They took the responsibility. But women, we have so much Stockholm syndrome where we identify with this. We have romanticized this type of leadership. It's toxic. It's disempowering. But we've romanticized and made this, I want the man to take the lead. It's disempowering. There's no power here for you. You're basically saying, I want men to take responsibility for my desire the way that they have been forever in history, where I didn't have power and I didn't have choice. Newsflash, we now live in a day where women have more rights and more choice than ever. And this means that we have more responsibility for what we want to create romantically. We have more responsibility to connect with the men that we want versus men are just going to go out and approach me. Quality men are not going to approach you as if they own you like they used to. As if they had the unalienable rights to your attention and affection like they used to. Yes, it was completely normal for a bunch of approaching like that because you didn't have a lot of rights as a woman. There's a lot of assumption that, hey, we as men, we own y'all. So yeah, I'm going to approach you as if you do not have autonomy. As if you don't have the ability to choose. I'm just going to approach you because I already feel entitled to your attention. I feel as a man with all this power, I feel entitled to your affection. So yeah, I'm going to push up on you. And yeah, I'm going to approach you. And we romanticize it. Like, I wish we went back to those days. Quality men understand that you are a whole woman and they respect your autonomy as a woman. They respect your autonomy today, in modern day, as a woman. And so they do not feel entitled to your affection and your attention. What they are looking for is an invitation. They want consent so that they know that it's safe to. The feminine the feminine that's empowered sends the invite, makes the choice, put the signals out. And then the masculine picks up on it and executes. Do y'all get what I'm putting down? Put a 1 in the comment section if this is landing for you. Let me know if this is landing for you. Someone says that I'm a whole woman and they don't feel entitled but are looking for imitation consent. Yes, they are looking for consent. Quality man. Y'all know y'all always complaining about why the Dusties are approaching you. Y'all ever wonder that in the quality men? Again, the quality men respect you as a woman. They're looking for consent. And we think walking outside looking beautiful is consent, and it's not. It's not consent just because you went outside with your girls or just because you went outside looking pretty. It's not consent. You could be someone else's girlfriend. And if he approached you if he approached you out of the blue, that could go badly. You could be completely uninterested in being approached as a beautiful woman because you're always you always get certain types of attention, and it could end badly. It could have ended badly. So you need to provide consent for men and let them know I'm extending an invitation for a connection. It may not be romantic, but I am extending an invitation. I want you to move from I need to get approached. And that looks like walking down the street, avoiding eye contact, standing in the corner, looking around, glued to your phone. I've literally went out with women who claim that they're interested in men and are single and they're in their phones. Why are you in your phone instead of making connections? Because they assume they're just going to look in their phones and then there's going to be a man that taps on the shoulders like, excuse me, miss, what's your name? I see you all in your phone and I wondered if I could take you out. It don't work like that. Because maybe you're on the phone talking to your man. And if he approaches you, it will end badly. Maybe you are working and you don't want no mofos coming to interrupt your work. And if he approaches you, it will end badly. And then we leave the event and we're like, nobody approached me and I look so good. Men don't approach these days. No, women do not accept responsibility for their desires these days. Do you desire to be approached tonight? Okay, well, how much do I want to connect? How many people do I want to talk to? Right? But we've been so conditioned because we don't want to look like we're chasing men. Of course not. We don't want to look like we're chasing men. I'll be damned if I chase a man. right? We have a self-worth thing going on there. We need some type of validation because we don't want to look like we're chasing a man. We don't want to look like we seem desperate or thirsty. I'm not desperate. I would never approach a man. And then also, some of us, we don't want to be taken advantage of by men. Put a 2 in the comments if you've ever thought to yourself, if a man thinks I like him, then he's going to try to use that against me. If a man thinks I like him, he's going to try to use that against me. You know? We don't want that. So we're very guarded. Very guarded. But if you truly want quality men to approach you, you need to create a line of connection that invites them to do so. There was somebody in my comment section, and I think I'm going to talk about this in a reel. And she read my post, and she was just like, basically what you mean is just approach men. And then someone else in the comment section replied under her. She was like, yeah, that's what I'm getting from this post, is that men don't have to approach because we're approaching them. And I just need a reframe of the word approach. I just want to delete the word because it has gotten women so confused and in a tizzy. What the hell is approached? What is it? Because if I'm simply giving a compliment to a man and we're saying that that's approach, fine. Now, what does that mean? I gave a man a compliment. That means I approached him. Fine. Now, what does that mean? Because I approached a man. We get caught up in this, who's approaching who? Who's approaching who? I don't give a damn who approaches who. It's not about the approach. Because if you're thinking of it like this, like I need a man to approach me and the man needs to be the one to approach me, you are probably stuck in romanticizing the disempowering leadership of men. You're probably stuck there where you are not tapped into your feminine power. Look at Tia talking about, she checking in. Someone says, I thought you meant starting a conversation. No, right. I did mean that. But they're like, hey, that's you approaching a man. And I'm like, I don't give a damn if that's approaching a man. I think we need to throw all of this out because I'm approaching a human. If I went to a girl and I was like, girl, you are wearing that dress. Y'all gonna say, you're approaching her. Approaching her for what? Connection. Yeah, I am approaching her. I'm approaching her for connection. I want to connect with her. We can just throw the whole word out. No one cares. Because we're not going to make this about who is supposed to approach. What we're going to make this about is I am a woman who wants to connect with humans, with penises, and I'm going to do so. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to start a conversation. I'm going to provide consent that I am available and willing to connect. Someone says, maybe that's why I'm afraid of being taken advantage of. Romanticize the interaction. Yeah. That's also, you're not. Another young lady, she stated, she was just like, I did all the things that you said, Torah. She said, I did all the things you said, Torah, and none of it's working. And I need y'all to understand that that is when you are focused on just trying to do things. The feminine is creation energy. It's connecting energy. It's an energy. It's not executing actions. You can smile and wave and still be very disconnected. You can start a conversation and not be in creation energy and not be in connection energy. It's a being, not a doing. It's not, let me check off the box. Let me do this and then I'm going to get this. No, it's like I am this woman. I actually am this woman. This is who I am. And that's why instead of focusing on the things that I talked about, I focused on questions to ask yourself. I listed some of the things that these women do so that you can get an understanding of what they do, like the smiling and waving and asking questions. Those are things that these women do, but but they are operating in the energy of a creator and a connector. So that's why I asked the questions. I said, instead of asking why men are not approaching me, when you're out, you ask yourself, am I relaxed and fully engaged in this present moment? I'm out here at this event, or am I in my phone? Am I distracted with my phone? Am I distracted thinking, I'm uncomfortable here? Or, are you fully engaged in the moment? Like, wow, the music nice. The ambiance is nice. I love the fact that I get to sit over here. You're fully engaged and relaxed in the moment. That's the being you are being. Are you actively listening and aware of what's happening around you? Again, you cannot do that if you are stuck in your phone. You cannot do that if you have your headphones in and you're thinking about some other stuff. Because you're not in connecting, you're not there. But imagine if you were out and about and you were listening to what was happening around you. And you were aware of the things that were happening around you. That's being. Am I open? Am I open to starting conversations? Am I open to expressing myself in a way that invites others to express themselves? Am I open? Am I being open? Or am I like this, wondering when someone's going to approach me? There's nothing open about that. It's very closed off. Am I making eye contact with the world and relishing in the world? I mean, relishing like, what a beautiful freaking day. The birds are singing, the trees are blowing. Like, I mean, that's me. You don't gotta be me. But I'm looking at the world like, hey, it's my oyster. I walk outside of the door and it's like, da 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 da, I'm loving it. And how can I be so in love with the world without the world being back in love with me? How can I relish the world without the world relishing me back? Baby, you reap what you sow. And if I'm sowing all of my yumminess into the world, I'm going to get it back. It's going to chase me down. Because I am continually in the flow of creation. I am in the flow of this energy. It's going to cycle. You know how they say you can't make no money if you don't spend no money? Because money, it's an energy. You want to make money. but you won't want to spend money. It don't work like that. The flow of money does not work that way. The flow of connection doesn't work that way. You got to spend some to make some. You got to contribute. You got to plant some seeds for the harvest. But it's a lot of gimme, get. I want to get approached. I want attention. Give me some attention. Give me blah, blah, blah. What are we doing? How are we contributing here? And then even am I genuinely interested in who these men are, or am I just looking for a companion? Am I just looking for a relationship? Am I just looking to go on a date? Am I looking for a man to make me feel good? A man to make me feel pretty? A man to make me feel desirable? A man to make me feel safe? A man to make me feel taken care of? Am I looking for that? Or am I actually genuinely interested? Like, even if I never talk to you again, am I just interested in you? And so I'm going to be curious about interacting with you and connecting with you versus I just need a man to approach me. The goal is not to get men to approach you. The goal is to create genuine connections, genuine interactions with men that lead to meaningful connections. But that means you have to connect to yourself first. If you are not connected to yourself first, everything I'm saying will feel hard. It might seem easy to hear, but when you go out and try to execute it, it will feel hard. Because you're disconnected. You don't have clarity for you. You don't have confidence for you. You're not tapped in. That's one of the biggest reasons why I have Curve to Cuff. For those of you who need to work on that piece, joining Curve to Cuff, put C2C in the comment section if you want a link sent straight to Curve to Cuff. Put C2C in the comment section if you would like to learn more about Curve to Cuff. And then also Lover Girl Weekend. And you can put Lover Girl in the chat if you're interested in Lover Girl Weekend. It's to really get you focused on connecting to you so that you can easily execute this stuff. It's hard because the foundation isn't there. Someone said in the comment section, I have a problem conversing. You don't have clarity. What's up, Cufflinks? You don't have clarity. You don't have confidence. You haven't really sat with yourself to really think through this stuff as to why you have blocks in the first place. I want to start answering questions in a bit, but I don't think that Instagram is allowing you guys to put questions in the question box. It's saying that I have no questions, and I know that's a lie. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I'm going to just scroll up because I don't trust Instagram right now. But I will encourage you guys, if you really want to get serious. Yeah, the question box isn't working, guys. Put your questions in the comment section now because Instagram is not acting right. If you want to get serious and you really want to get serious working with me and my team, I encourage you to really think about joining our last cohort of the year in C2C. If you're interested, put C2C in the chat box. It is a 12-week transformational journey. We work on we do personal development work and inner transformational work to help you attract the types of men that you desire by really deeply connecting with yourself. We have the last cohort of the year with the last opportunity to join. It's 12 weeks. And then we have Lover Girl Weekend, and that's working with me in person. The design of your dating life and what you want to experience and how you want to interact with men. But again, we have to tap into that first. Put Lover Girl in the chat if you're interested in Lover Girl Weekend. Well, we work in person. That's December 1st to the 2nd. I think we have 4 slots left for Lover Girl Weekend. But I really want you to get serious. It's the end of the year. Do you want to go into 2024? Not getting approached, not creating the connections you want, not feeling deliciousness, not meeting the types of men that you want to meet, feeling drained and disappointed and exhausted. Do you really want that going into 2024? Because I don't want that for you. Heather! It's been a while. Heather says the transformation does not end at 12 weeks. It will continue when you do the work. Heather, why? Girl, I miss you. Put y'all questions. Do not put y'all questions in the question box, y'all, because it ain't working. Put it in the comment section. I want to answer your questions. I want to be able to coach you here. Okay. Someone says, you said it's okay to fall in love and not act on it. But if love is an action, are we really falling in love? Falling in love is a term that simply means I'm emotionally I have emotions for this person. We're not actually, falling in love is different than I love this person. I need y'all to know the difference. Falling in love simply means I have an emotional connection. My dopamine is hit. I'm excited. You make my coochie jump. You make my heart flutter. That's falling in love. That does not equate to actually loving a person. Right? It doesn't come with the sacrifice of actually dedicating your love to that person. Someone says how to stay the course and not get frustrated. Manage your expectations. Our expectation is normally nothing can go wrong. If it goes wrong, then I shouldn't be doing this. Nothing can go wrong. If it goes wrong, then I don't want to show up anymore. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel upset. I don't want to feel disappointed. That's where your expectations lies, is you don't want to feel negative emotion. If you don't want to feel negative emotion, just stay single for the rest of your life. But you're going to still feel it. You might as well you're going to feel negative emotion 50% of your life in whatever. You just better make sure that when you're feeling that negative emotion, it's by you doing what the hell you want to do, is you going after what you want to go after. Yes, I had somebody in the Curve to Cuff community. Someone in the Curve to Cuff community pointed out how she had to let a man go out in her rotation, and it was so disappointing for her. But then she was able to add several other men because she didn't have the expectation that she wasn't supposed to feel disappointed. The expectation is I am going to be disappointed, and that's okay. I am going to be frustrated, and that's okay. I am going to feel like quitting sometime, and that's okay. It's okay. This is life. I'm going to feel all of these feelings and be okay. Like me, I run a business. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to do this. I want to delete my Instagram account and never come back. Y'all still see I'm here. I'm never going to stop, but I keep saying sometimes I don't want to do this. Sometimes I get frustrated. Sometimes I get annoyed with this work. Sometimes I just feel like, man, this is just a lot of work. Sometimes you feel underappreciated. You know, especially when people come asking for free advice. I'm like, don't I have all these programs you can register? Don't I have enough free advice? But now you want to slide on my DMs asking me for more free advice. You feel underappreciated. That's not going to stop me. You stay the course because you are committed to you. Someone says, what's the difference between the 12-week transformation and Lover Girl Weekend? Curve to Cuff 12-week transformation, and we focus on completely redesigning your life around love. Through personal development work and inner transformational work, meaning that you recreate a whole life that feeds you with love, and you're able to create your own love life. I don't care if it's coming from, your career, your friends and family, but you learn how to create that self for yourself and build a rotation of quality men who add a lot of love to your life. That's C2C. It's a lot of personal development work. It's a lot of inner transformational work where we work with you week to week to week to week to week to week on your entire life. This is why women leave the program with promotions. This is why women leave the program getting raises. We have clients getting quadruple pay, 20% raises, double raises. This is why women lose weight in the program. This is why women start businesses in the program, because we focus on creating love in the entire life. Lover Girl Weekend is we're focused on delicious dating, specifically just dating, not your entire life per se, but just getting yourself out there. If you haven't dated before, let's get you dating. C2C, you need to already have been dating, right? Or have experienced dating. Lover Girl Retreat, you don't have to. You can come in because we're really designing your dating life and making sure it's delicious, because you could be dating and it's not delicious. Making sure it serves you. We're only focused on that point, and it's for 2 days. It is high touch work for 2 days. So I hope that makes sense, the difference. I hope the difference makes sense. Thank you guys. I'm seeing your questions about me. Your comments about me being appreciated. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Sometimes the voice gets in my brain. It feels like I'm not appreciated. Someone said, so if you're interested in C2C, put C2C in the comment section. Also, feel free to DM me. We can talk about C2C or Lover Girl Weekend if you want to have more clarity on it. So put C2C in the comment section if you want to learn about C2C, and put Lover Girl in the comment section if you're interested in coming to the in-person workshop. We have about 4 spots left. Someone says, how do you move past the first date? Do you initiate or wait them to initiate? It just depends, right? I would need a lot more information on the specific date. But if this man is calling you and texting you, I would let it be known that I'm unavailable to continue talking on the phone or texting if we're not going out on dates. I only stay connected to men that I'm going out on dates with. So one of my things in dating has always been, I'm not going to be talking to you, texting you throughout the week. Are we going out on a date or no? And if we're not going on a date, that's fine too. We don't need to talk, because I'm not going to be I'm not going to be your pen pal. I'm not going to be your long distance lover. I'm interested in going out on dates and just really being and relishing in each other's space. And so I would let that person know that you don't have to be the one to take me on a second date, but I'm letting you know that I only stay connected to men who take me out on dates. Someone says, is C2C virtual or in person? C2C is virtual. It's virtual. The Lover Girl Weekend is in person. So I hope that helps, Michelle. I will say that if you have a problem connecting with men, you're going to have a lot of first dates, but no second follow-up dates. It's going to fizzle out quick, which is why we work on helping women deeply connect to themselves so that they can actually connect to men. If y'all go look in the Feminine Keys community right now, you're going to see where these women are snatching these men's souls, where these men are like, can you be my girlfriend? How can I lock you down? They're posting it in the community. You can go see it right now. How can I make you be my woman? And I even talked about the 70-year-old client that I have. This 70-year-old client had a man asking her to be his girlfriend. And she was just like, we need to see if we're in alignment first. Someone says, when men discuss getting sexual, is that a red flag or is that normal? Sometimes it can feel so daunting because I want more than that. This is where you need to be deeply connected to you. I actually made a podcast today about how we've traded the divine feminine for fake femininity. And the divine feminine allows us to have intuition to know that if a man talks about sex, we would understand why he's talking about it. We will understand and have an intuitive hit on what kind of conversation this is. Is this simply a sleazy conversation where you're trying to you're hungry for sex and you're trying to get me in bed? Or is this a productive conversation about sex that's going to lead to something meaningful? Because there's not a crime in being horny, right? But what kind of conversation on sex are we having? What is the underlying layer? But that's why you got to get closer to you to really understand like the intuitive hits behind this and really trusting yourself here. Because it could depend. One man, it might be something very sleazy and him simply want to objectify you. And another man, he simply wants to try to connect with you in some way. Just depends. It should never be daunting, though, because you should be so clear that you're able to cut right through it and just make a decision. Oh no, this is a no for me, baby. Or like, oh no, this is a yes, right? Oh no, baby, this is a no, right? Someone says, do you record these sessions? I'll be trying to listen while I work. I'm going to try to save this. Instagram has not been really nice to me lately. So I'm going to try to save this. Someone says, the formation help build confidence and clarity as well. Yes. You don't have to date in formation, but formation definitely, it's very slow self-work. Your love life. Formation is very important if you really want to start taking responsibility for your entire life. If you really want to start building support systems in your life. If you really want to tap into the desires that you have in general in your life that you haven't been able to tap in before. If you just want to create in general, formation is a really great place to start. If you're not, like if you really, it's like shadow work. It's shadow work. All the things that you've repressed and you haven't accepted about who you are, like that stuff comes up in formation. Someone says, how do I respond to men making promises on the first dates and then failing to deliver? For example, saying that he would love to take me away on a holiday. I mean, I would just say that sounds amazing and leave it at that. He never promised to take you anywhere. He just said he would love to do it. Where was the promise? As far as I can see, that man just said he would love to do it. And I would say that's amazing. Like, what else? This man said he would love to do something. That's amazing. Of course you would love to do that. If we're confused about how to respond to that, we're making it bigger than what it is. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. I would like literally ask myself, why why do I think that this means more than what it is? This man saying he would love to take me out. Of course he would. I'm fine. I got good energy. Of course he would love to take me out on the holiday. And I wouldn't think about that twice. Now, it would be different if that man was like, we're going on a holiday. I'm going to book our tickets. Take this day and time off. Because we about to go. And then when the time comes, you don't hear from him. That's something different. I'm not suspecting that that's what happened here. What I think happened is this man said something and you made it more serious than what it is. Someone says, I'm going for formation. I know I'm not ready today, but I need to break bad habits. Are you going for formation? Why you ain't in formation now? Why you ain't signed up now? What's stopping you from signing up for formation now? Okay. Terrence says C2C will literally change your life. All right, I think that's it. I think that's the questions we have for today. I've been on here an hour and 9 minutes. Yes, Shara, no procrastination over here. We got to get serious about this. We got to get serious about what we want to create for ourselves. I'm going to try to save this. I love y'all. Bye.